You just tuned it in. Global and worldwide. Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the Fighter's Voice. The Fighter's Voice. With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz. And the formidable co-host, Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios. The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And like Tyson Fury, we're simply knocking out the competition. With us today, we have with us the man, the myth, the one, the only. If you're bleeding, you don't need a Band-Aid, just call my man, Jacob Stitch Duran. He's going to be in studio with us, break the whole fight down for us. But I got to introduce my co-host, Mr. Mike Rutha. Welcome to the show, Big Mike.
What's up?
Man, check this out. We got Stitch in the studio, man. You know how hot he is right now, but commodity, everybody wants that soundbite. They want to know what's going on.
That's Jacob Stitch almost right there.
Exactly. Enough said, man. Welcome to the show, Stitch. How we doing? My mic's a little hot.
Come on. I'm always doing good when I ever talk to you, man. How you been, bro? You excited?
You know what?
What you think of the fight? Let me do the commentating here on the questions.
Okay, let's go for it. This is the Stitch show, baby.
Okay, let me ask you, what you guys think, man?
Great performance.
You know what? It was he was very focused. He was determined, and you know what? He is who he says he is. Yep. He definitely was going to be the bully in there, impose his will as he did. But I want to tell you something that a lot of people haven't been talking about. My mic's kind of different. A lot of people have been talking about the suit. They've been talking about the weight working for Tyson Fury, but nobody is talking about those body shots. Those body shots made a difference. He didn't expect it, and not only that, he dropped him with the body shot, and he hurt him with that first body shot. Tyson Fury went back to it. It was working all night. If it's not broken, don't fix it, and the rest is history. But we could still go on and on because there was a lot of elements that were composing that fight to beautiful music.
Yeah, that's some great observation, man. But, I noticed that in the training on how well he was going down the body, and I told him, I said, man, those body shots are tremendous because heavyweights don't throw body shots. I remember Vitaly Klitschko, would go to the body every once in a while. Vladimir, he wouldn't do it. And but, man, I tell you what, and those shots are solid. That one that he dropped Deontay Wilder with was right in the gut. Yeah. And, of course, that would have dropped anybody.
You know what? And see, he prophesied he was going to do that. If you notice after the weigh-in, when he got off the scale, because I got some footage of that, he goes up to the ring girl and he mimics like he's going to throw a left hook to the body. So I got that content right there. So he knew all along. I mean, as if to say you did see it in training. You did know that it was going to happen before us, the viewers, the fans, and the followers got to see that vicious body shot. And now he's going to be known for the body hitting to the body and hurting his opponent.
Oh, yeah, of course. And, he considers himself a Mexican, man.
Oh, he is.
We took him in.
No, he is. He's Chicano, bro, because the vato was eating tortillas, bro. Check this out. He was eating tortillas, and instead of rolling it up, he grabbed it like a Lano and licked it and rolled it up, a.k.a. Cheech and Chong, but it was a taco. He threw it down. It worked for him. He loves the Mexican-Americans, and we love him right back.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm talking about Gabe Flores because he's at the gym training with us. And, of course, I work with Gabe out of Stockton. And I said, Gabe's a good kid, man, Mexican. He goes, hey, I'm Mexican too. And he says, and he talks about his brother's Mexican, he's Mexican. And so he really takes that to heart. And it was more about the lifestyles that we grew up with than them being the Irish travelers and, us being the farm workers in the San Joaquin Valley. And that was the association that he had a reference to. But, yeah, going to the body was tremendous, Richard.
No, it was. And you know what? Let me talk about Gabe Flores again. I do not want to overlook that. The kid is 17-0. He is perfect at 17-0. Every fight, he's growing. And I will say this. If he was 17-0 in all knockouts and say he knocked them all out in 3 rounds, he would be, hey, man, I don't trust that because he hasn't went the rounds. Gabriel Flores is putting the rounds in now. When that man strength kicks in, when that knockout ratio starts to just go and he hits about 5 in a row, look out. Because he has the experience of all those rounds that he's putting in and getting some work.
Yeah, him and his father, Gabe Sr., they're really astute with the game. And, I love working with them because, of course, we're both from the 209 and all that. But, talk about making the move. Like I made the move 26 years ago to Las Vegas. They're moving from Stockton.
Man, I was gonna drop that because Gabe Senior dropped that on me. But Stitch, it's all good.
Yeah.
If anybody can drop it before the fighter's voice, it's the one and only Mr. Stitch Duran.
Hey, I got the scoop like you got, brother.
Hey, man, we can both eat from the same plato. It's all good, brother.
Of course. Of course.
That's good for him. That's real
Yeah,
good.
yeah, no, he is.
That's real good for
I was
him.
going to drop that. That's good. He's closer to the top-ranked gym. He's closer to the who's who of boxing. And him being a student, all he's going to do is absorb it. Mike, can you imagine? I mean, you're a Raider fan. Now, if you move to Vegas, I mean, because you like to follow your team,
yeah, of course.
I'm just, you would be closer. So being involved in the sweet science, Gabriel Flores Sr. is as if to say, I'm not going to let anything go by. I'm going to take every opportunity available for our camp, for our team, especially for my son.
Yeah, and then you think in Vegas, there's, even though, they don't associate, it's still the Mayweather gym is there. They're probably going to invite him over for some training as well. I would suspect Mayweather's going to want his fighters to spar with some of the best young talent in the world, no matter who it is.
Well, not only that, you're close to the one and only Stitch Duran. 'Cause
Exactly.
He kicks it there in Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my second home now, definitely. But, I know everybody, all the sparring people, all the coaches. I know everybody. And, if I can lend a helping hand, and I'm sure I will, Gabe, they made the right move, and that's the move you have to make. You got to make sacrifices in life to get to the top. And not that it's a sacrifice, but it's a move, the calculated move that they made.
Yeah, and that's a good move, especially when you're a prospect. To that shows how serious you're taking your job right there. That's perfect.
Exactly. My mic's kind of low. I don't know if you can hear me, but my mic's kind of
Yeah,
low.
Mike, you got to raise Mike up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to raise Stitches up too, man. I can barely hear you. But now, speaking of Las Vegas, man, my dream job has always been, can you imagine the fighter's voice would go record? We'll just say, for an example, Thursday nights in Las Vegas. The show would start at 9 o'clock. Bro, I'd get off work, catch a flight, go do the show. It's kind of scratchy, and come back.
Oh, yeah.
Or I might just stay there. If Stitch is there, and if he can make it happen, man, the fighter's voice is going to Vegas.
Mine too. Hey, let's do Wilder Fury 3 at the new Allegiant Stadium, the Raider Stadium out there. Let's get that done.
Oh, I never thought about that, man.
Oh yeah, that opens in August. Let's get that going.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be insane.
That would be a great weekend. Imagine the fight on Saturday and then the Raider game on Sunday.
I don't know about all that, man. Don't kill it with that Raider game.
Hey, well, I mean, you want to show class. You don't want to take them to the Cowboy Stadium.
No, you know what?
I'm with you, Mike.
No, I got nothing against the Raiders, man.
No,
They're out there doing their thing.
That would just be a great weekend just to think about it. My wife might not like it that much, but I love it.
It was, man. Now, Stitch, I want to ask you this. What was it like in the corner, man? I mean, the energy level.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Just for me to get the assignment was pretty awesome. And meeting him, because it really the last 2 weeks is when I met him,
Yeah.
and when I spent time with him. But right off the bat, he puts his hand out and he welcomes me to the team. And I said, well, can we take a picture just to make it official? We said, of course. So we took a picture. He put it on Twitter, and we talked about the cut. What I was going to do, and then talked to him about me using my one more round outfit and with my sponsors, and he gave us the green light on that also. So one more round it made his debut on the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight.
There it is. There,
yeah,
I noticed you posted something.
Time. No, of course, yeah, of course. We're making the best out of it, and but no, the excitement and the everything he did in the gym.
Yeah.
Richard, Mike, everything he did in the gym, he did in the fight. And I got to give a lot of credit to Sugar Hill and Andy Lee. Both of them that worked as trainers for him. But then also I got to give super props to Tyson Fury, because to follow that program as disciplined as he was is what made him win the fight.
You can see the size difference, and you can see right off the bat he imposed his will. He let him know, I'm the boss tonight. I'm the boss inside of this ring.
100% right.
Now, one of the things that I was seeing from just everything, the first fight that they had, he was getting caught, a little bit here and there from the little jabs from Wilder, and of course the right hands that caught him later. In this fight, my worry when I seen the weight, me and Richard talked about it, was he's not going to move out there. He seemed quicker to me in his head movement than he did last time. Well, did you notice that as well out there, or just there was it that he was just so he was on the whole night?
The feints were working for him.
Yeah, those feints, Wilder did not adapt at all. Those from the first fight to the second one, with the feints at all.
No, that's a good point. But no, what you saw is what he did in the gym, and and I also went beyond, and I mean, because I've been in the game long enough. But see, keep in mind when I came into camp and I met Tyson Fury, he was in the final week. Well, he was in the week where he was starting to peak. Mm-hmm. So I saw the best of him. Okay. Right, I saw the game plan that was presented to him, executed in the sparring, and so I got to see all that. And what he did there to me was no surprise. After the third round, I told myself, Deontay Wilder's not going to knock him out. I just had already read it.
No, he didn't have the legs or the power, and he wasn't even trying to knock him out anymore. He's trying to defend himself. Yep. He was no longer trying to win. He was just trying to defend himself because Tyson Fury not only leaned on him, let him feel that power, but surprised him with that power and surprised him with those body shots, and actually surprised him by trying to get him out of there in 2 rounds, just like he predicted he would do.
Yeah, well, the thing I always said about him is all the crazy stuff that he talks about and everything. But if you look deep down into those conversations that he has, there's a lot of truth to what he said. Mm-hmm. And, he truly in his heart believed that he was going to knock him out in the second round. I thought he was going to go the distance, and I thought that he was going to win by decision. But, and I always told people, Richard and Mike, that Tyson Fury had 2 ways of winning, by decision and by knockout. And Deontay Wilder only had one way of winning. That was by knockout.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Let's talk about that controversial suit, so to speak. Hey, the mic. It's popping. Stand by. Okay. Yeah, it's popping. Okay, sorry about that. As soon as I mentioned the suit, I guess some people from Deontay.
It's Mike. Unplug it. Unplug it.
What, my mic?
No, unplug it. It says cord.
Okay.
Just talk there. Just go for the speaker.
Okay.
Oh, it's him.
Are you there? Okay, let me put you on speaker now. Okay, can I hear? So, did you hear anything I said about him in the suit transitioning at all?
No. Say it again, please.
I said, so what do you think about the controversial weight of the suit, the 40 pounds of the suit? Is that logical? I mean, wouldn't you notice that as soon as you ordered it? I know when I buy a suit from a tailor, I don't go home and get surprised and say, what's wrong? They're high waters. They're like Michael Jackson. I want the tailor. I want to make sure it's exactly the way it is. So I'm going to try them on with my shoes, with my tie. I mean, I got my friend Alex here. He used to have long hair. He tries his suits on with his long hair. He cut it, so I guess his suit, by the collar, you would see like if he washed his neck or not. You know what I mean? But now you know. I mean, what's your whole thing? I know I'm making fun a little bit, but
no.
Would you even bring that up, Stitch, about the suit? Is that logical, or what's your take on that?
Well, right off the bat, that just kind of lets me know that he was more concerned about his appearance than about the manner of the way he was going to fight. And that suit, it was for him to use as an excuse. But I can understand. I mean, it's stupid to have an outfit that you're going to walk out in that weighs 40 pounds, and you probably had it on in the dressing room for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you get another 5-minute walk, and, so you got 15 minutes of armor on you that you don't need, fighting a guy that's bigger than you and like 40-something pounds bigger. So that was a major, major mental mistake.
I'm going to say what my wife told me. She said Fury was ready all the way around. Wilder should have been carried in the same way Fury was.
Yep. It's kind of the same scenario with John Ruiz when he fought. I knew there was issues when he had all this gold in his neck with diamonds and all that, and he lost the focus of the actual fight.
Yeah.
But he did keep it real. He did say, you know what? I wasn't focused. I was drinking Coronas. I was partying. I mean, I wouldn't
keep it real.
I wouldn't have said that though. I mean, I would have trained to win.
Well, of course, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the head gets a little bit bigger than.
I agree.
The confidence kind of takes control. Yeah. And this is a hurt business, and he got hurt.
Yep. No, he did. And all joking aside. He put the work in, and my whole thing is I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he's able to find a way, because you never want to put a fighter in the corner because he's going to punch his way out. There's always going to be looking for excuses from left to right, and I get that's human nature. I'm just glad he's okay. I'm glad he's going to regroup and come back and treat us, the fans, in another fight.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, my thing with it is I know he's upset. As he said, he's a warrior. He wants to go out on the shield, and that's all fine. But last year we experienced way too much in this sport that we don't need to see that again. And hey, he like I told people, his trainer saved him probably another $30 million in the next fight. And hey, we're gonna have another event like this past weekend. I mean, there was people everywhere. I had nephews and nieces calling me trying to come over to watch the fight. So that's the first time that's happened in a while. So I loved it.
Yeah, well, they're talking June, July, or something like that.
I think they said the end of July.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know what kind of end results were, with the medical test and all that, but I know deep inside, he took his body and his mind took a beating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to be sufficient time for him to come out and try to get a rematch, but I think you'll end up seeing the same results. It's just Tyson Fury is a good fighter, offense and defense. Nobody's going to teach you how to fight a guy like Tyson Fury because there's nobody like Tyson Fury.
There's no heavyweight that moves like him. That's honestly to me that's impossible.
Not even close.
No.
Not even close.
Nope.
And sometimes there's fighters that just have your number, and it appears that Tyson Fury has his number all the way around. I mean, to withstand the punishment. I don't want to say punishment, but the power of Deontay Fury, and to get up, regroup. And I agree with a lot of the reporters. The minute he got up, he set the tone and said, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do on the next fight. And I was anticipating round 13, and it was exactly the way he said it was going to be.
Yeah, he called it.
Yeah.
Hey, so I want to ask you this, Stitch, man. I mean, walking around the casino, getting stopped, fans are getting starstruck. How many pictures did you take? How many times did you get hit up while you were in Las Vegas?
Tons and tons, but even more crazy were all the interviews I did throughout the whole week. And even now, this is my second interview today. I have, I think, 2 more tomorrow, and I had some yesterday. And so, the fallout of that, or just coming on board, has been, for me, it's been tremendous. Everybody that I did interviews, and it's like every major network, and everybody, they wanted to know about the cut. And, that was what brought me here. And that's what people talked about before and after. Oh, Stitch, he didn't get cut, man. This and that. And so, yeah. So I did a bunch of interviews, man. But no, it's been great. The pictures. We're coming back from Los Angeles. My wife and I, we stopped, and this guy walked by and said, hey, man, you look like this guy, Stitch. And by the time I was going to say it is Stitch, he was gone.
Hey, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that'll keep you on your edge, man, and keep you. I am Stitch, and then he just leaves. But at least he knows, hey, what you look like, because you are the face of the cut man.
Yes.
I mean, that's just it. It is. It's going to go down. There's going to be some people after you, but you are the one that laid down the foundation, and how important it is to have your own brand and just be able to back up and be who you are, to stop the blood. You're there when the bleeding starts, and you're there to stop it. But you just being there in the corner is like that extra spare tire with the rim you don't get to use, but it's there in case you need it.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up, Richard, because the first time I've heard it multiple times where, if you see Stitch in the corner, the guy's going to win. Stitch is a good luck charm, and I've never really heard that before, but it created that kind of conversation with people. And, if I heard it 6-7 times in one night, I'm telling you how many times that was mentioned, but that's the persona that people, that this opportunity gave me. So.
Well, I'm just glad you're in our corner, man. I know you back up the fighter's voice, man. I mean, you always have. I asked for an interview, and you said, not a problem. I'm looking forward to it. You've always been courteous and respectful, and just, going out of your way, and we appreciate that. And even after the Rocky movies, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It is. So, let me ask you, are you a Raider fan? Is that what it is?
Well, I used to live in Oakland, right?
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
I used to see the Raiders when, the Kenny Stabers and the Jack Daniels and George Atkinsons and
Cliff Branch,
Mark Van Ingen and Fred Biletnikoff, the legendary guys.
Yeah.
There was Kenny Stabler.
That's right.
So of course I'm going to be a Raider fan here.
And now that they're moving in, now your new residency, and that must be, something special for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure. I would definitely love to go see some of the workouts, and because their new facility, their
it's
training
open.
facility, is not far, not from where we live. So, yeah, it's nice to have the Raiders here. I think, man, but I like the idea of the rematch being at Raiders Stadium.
Oh yeah, that just sounds great right there. That'd be the first pro fight there, man. Can't get better than that.
That's an automatic.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
There you go. Hey, I want to change the subject just for one bit. One bit, I just noticed something. And Mike, I want you to show everybody your tattoo for Kobe Bryant you just got there. Can we pull that up right there? Boom, go ahead and show it right there. My man, look at that. What are the numbers there?
8, 24, and 2. Kobe's 2 numbers and his daughter Gianna.
There you are. Shoot, the fighter's always paying tribute.
Exactly, always. And
Oh, man.
and I've told people my whole life I'm hardcore Raider fan, hardcore Giant fan, hardcore Laker fan, Tupac fan, and the only person that's ever inspired me to get a tattoo is Kobe.
Hey, but you also said you were down for the fighter's voice, baby.
Exactly.
That's right. That's what I'm telling.
Always.
That's the main thing, right?
That's the main thing, Stitch. That is the main thing, man. I mean, it's good to have a team that you call family. And when you say that, I noticed that whenever you talk about the 209, man, that's always your family. When you mention the floors as senior and junior, because they're a class act and they do things big time. I mean, they go all out from the very first fight to the second to the 17th fight. And Dad truly believes in his son, and his son believes in his craft.
And I believe in them. You know, when they called me, because Gabe Senior was just making it, or Junior was making his debut, debut, and they were looking for a cut man. So they, spoke to some other guys and all that. And I know they flew me up to Southern Cal where he was training up there, and I wrapped his hands, and from there we became history. And I'll try to work as many fights as I can with them, barring that there's no other bigger fight, and so good guy, good kid. For me, it's a pleasure just to work with him and see Gabe, see him grow.
Yeah, and I mentioned him again because his whole walk, his whole fight, he dedicated to Kobe and Kobe's daughter. And I thought that was a class act.
Yeah, that's real nice.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to switch it up real quick. Toscano's Boxing Promotions, they're going to have a show in Stockton, California on March 21st. That's a Saturday. They've asked me to reach out to you. Any way possible, you can make the fight. They got a ringside seat for you. You and your family, you would just be there chilling, watching boxing. You don't got to patch up any cuts or anything, but that's Toscano's Boxing Promotions. They're going to have a fight in Stockton, California, March 21st. I'm just throwing the invite out there. I'll let that marinate a
Man, I
little bit.
appreciate it, yeah. I got to see. That's Juan Toscano, right?
No, George Toscano.
Oh, George, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'll check on that. I got to wait to see what kind of calls I'll be getting, and I don't know. It'd be tough, to make it, but if I can, I will.
Hey, man, when they asked me, hey, Rich, can you at least let them know? I said, anything that you need, because they've been more than supportive for the fighter's voice. And I know you're worldwide, but you never know, man. Stitch may just show up there and just, just chill and have himself a burrito and a soda and just relax.
Right?
All right. In Stockton.
In
Right on.
Stockton.
He needs a Corona, not a soda.
There you go. 209 ain't far from your blood, my man. It's deep down inside of you.
Of course.
Okay, this Saturday, Jesse Vargas is taking on Mikey Garcia at 147 pounds. Mikey Garcia's continued to want to stay at welterweight. What's your whole take on him fighting at 147 instead of maybe going down to 140s?
Well, we'll see. I think the matchup between, Jesse and Mikey is a good matchup. And,
I do too.
I'm working with Jesse Vargas, so as a matter of fact, I'm working on his one more round outfit that I'll be wearing to represent Jesse for this fight.
So you are going up there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll leave up there Friday.
Oh, all right, right on, man.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be working with Jesse Vargas. I've worked with him since Rafael Garcia passed away, legendary cut man, and he's the one that recommended I work with Jesse, and it's another good father-son combination. So I'll be there also.
You know what? That's going to be a great fight. That's not going to be a boring fight or a walkover for anybody. That's going to be an exciting fight.
That's a great card all the way around, honestly.
It's going to be a good fight, man.
Yeah, no, it is. The whole card is dynamite, and these are the kind of fights where I expect definitely stay busy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, from the opening round. Man.
Yeah. Oh, definitely with that. With those two, they
And even when it was early, when they were getting the stare downs, man, it was good for cameras. But you can see each fighter, they were trying to leave a mark. They were trying to leave a message
Oh,
to
they're
let you know
intensity
right
there.
off the bat.
they're intense.
I had the chance to go down to Robert Garcia's boxing academy and take a look at Mikey, and he was looking good, man. I mean, he was starting to sharpen up his skills. He was starting to get into that fight mode, and we actually had the opportunity and privilege to see iron sharpen iron, and got to see him get in with another champion. And I probably won't mention the name because I'm not about to get 86 out of anybody's gym, because what happens in the gym stays in the gym. But it was quite a sparring match, and it was a privilege and an honor to see these two share the ring.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is going to be good. So let me ask you this, Stitch, when you're not patching up eyes, when you're not out making movies, what does Jacob Stitch Duran do just to relax and say, you know what, this is my time?
Just kind of hang out at home, and every once in a while, 2-3 times, I'll go by the gyms and just hang out and shoot the shit with the guys, and
There you go.
and it's old barbershop talk, boxing style.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah. No, I try to rest up as much as possible because, I was traveling. That's the hardest part of what I do is the traveling, and you just kind of have to learn to pace yourself on that.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got to give a shout out. My dude from Stockton, the Fighter's Voice 2.0, Shelly Hollis, told me to say, hey, tell Stitch I said what's up. Remember when you came to Studio Stitch in Stockton, California?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
Yeah, Shelly told me to tell you what's up, man.
My man. All right.
So, listen, when you're relaxing. Now you're that entrepreneur is just starting to come out of you. Talk to us about your brand that you were rocking during the Fury Deontay Wilder fight, and that you'll be rocking this Saturday. Talk to us a little bit about it, if the fans can purchase it as well, and where they can find it.
Yeah, well, man, thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely.
It was pretty special.
Absolutely.
Because, one more round, Mark Zucker used to be my sponsor when I was with the UFC. And, of course, we kind of separated when, I left the UFC and all that. And he saw me working a fight with KSI, and it just kind of relit his desire to come out with one more round again. And I've always believed in the company, one more round, to the point where people thought it was my company. So after the KSI fight, that's like 2 months ago, Mark got a hold of me, and we talked, and we decided to come out with one more round again, which is an apparel company. It's it's gonna be casual and sportswear, and just some real nice stuff. Bomber jackets are real nice and all that. So,
Nice.
I spoke to Tyson Fury and asked him if I could create an outfit on how I could wear it with their colors and with my sponsors, and he gave me carte blanche. So
Awesome.
we're sporting one more round, and we're going to be doing it again with Jesse, and so it's the relaunch of one more round. One more round it never died. It just kind of came back, and we could go out there and make some statements, and what better way to put one more round on my back than working with so many great fighters. But in doing so, some of my sponsors was CBD Science, which is a company that created a cream for cuts. So when fighters get cut, they sew them up, and they put that on themselves, and the healing agency that it has is expedites the healing. So for practice runs, not practice runs, for results, Jake Tim, I've taken them to the bare knuckle fights, 3 of them, and we've spoken to the fighters, and bare knuckle fights, a majority of them get cut.
Yeah, bare knuckle, they are.
Yeah, give them the cream. They take a picture the week after, and the week after, the results have been tremendous. So that was one of my sponsors, and of course, Cutman for Hire Supplies, Juan Ramirez.
So that cream helps also with the healing process. Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
So the cream also helps with the healing process.
Oh, that's exactly what it does. Yeah, exactly. And
Nice.
It minimizes the swelling, and it really kind of minimizes the scarring. But it has CBD and other components that work great. And then of course Cutman for Hire Supplies. That's Juan Ramirez that carries all my Cutman supplies, and Godden Ford. So give me an opportunity to promote these guys, and at the same time do my thing, and So I've been blessed, to work with these guys. And, so you guys go to onemoround.com. We just opened up our website today.
Okay.
So we're able to get sales. So that's pretty awesome, man. So I look forward to some good stuff. And my wife and I were up there in LA meeting with Mark and the CBD guys. And I just got home right before you called. So, my wife, Mark was talking to her about they're going to be creating some real nice women's apparel. And my wife's already sketching out some designs that she thinks that she'll like. And
there you go. Yeah, we're pulling it up right now. The website. Yeah, we see some of the gear. I'm looking at some jacket there. I like the back of it. It looks like a
that red one.
Yeah, the
like a Solomon jacket.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and then they're starting to film a documentary on my life. I spoke to the producer today.
Nice.
We're traveling. I wrote that book from the fields to the garden.
Right.
Growing up as a farm worker in the San Joaquin Valley, and my goal was to make it to Madison Square Garden. So from the book, they contacted me about writing or filming a 90-minute documentary. So from the fields to the garden. So we're going to start filming all the way up till June.
Okay.
Oh, well, good deal. Well, if you guys ever swing this way in Fresno, man, we'll get you in studio and they can film all they want.
Yeah.
And Stitch can talk about his jacket, his bomber, and talk about the fighter's voice. The only voice that matters, my man.
All right, yeah, well, we will. We'll be in the Valley in June. That's where I'll be getting the footage of me being in the field. The garden we already got when Triple G fought in New York.
That's right.
We went and grabbed that footage 4 days of filming in New York about me being in New York and in the garden. So I'll be back in the Valley in June when all the crops are ready to be picked and the farm workers are coming in. And it's my 50th class reunion, so who knows? I'll be knocking on your door, Richard.
Hey, there you go. You're always welcome, man. Matter of fact, don't even knock. Just open the door and come in.
Just walk in.
Hell no, I'll get shot.
Now, we'll protect you, man. We'll get Coach B and some of the people from the Batcave, man. He's a police officer there, and he kind of trains, and big shout out for Coach B's Batcave boxing. So, Stitch, your schedule is just when are you ever home? Because you talked about on your own time that you just like to chill. You're constantly at airports living out of a suitcase. I mean, when do you get to just maybe hit the beach or just, take the wife dancing or something?
Yeah, it's not too often. My wife and I were driving in from LA today and we saw this guy with a big RV, and she said, we need to just get one of them and just hit the road for 2 weeks and sit down and have breakfast wherever we want and stop and take a break, and that'd be nice to do that. But it comes with the territory, and if that's the worst that could happen, I think we're all doing pretty good.
But you know what? That's great that you got a good woman on your side that's very supportive and just is in love with the same craft that you're in love with. I mean, that's rare, because I know I talk to some guys that go, well, my wife lets me, or I got to do this or that. But when they're got a great supporting crew in which you call your partner, your side, your rib, a team, I mean, sky's the limit. And it sounds like you endorsing your own product. I think this is just one step where you're getting ready to explode and maybe make some commercials advertising your gear, man. Because anything that Stitch rocks, everybody wants. So I know I want to rock something.
I'm about to go online when I get out of here.
I mean, that's real talk.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, the stuff's going to be pretty badass.
I'm sure it is.
I'm looking forward to it. And you're right, it's kind of, my wife has been, and my family, all instrumental in me, helping get to where I'm at now. Because when I made the move 26 years ago to Las Vegas, I took a corporate transfer, but then I took like a $25,000 a year cut and pay just to come over here. My wife and my kids, they knew I was going to, I had the dream, and they came with me. So everything I do for them.
That's great, man. That's great. Listen, I'm going to put the promoter's hat on you. If there's any fight you can make in 2020 in any weight division, what would it be? What two fighters would you put together in the same ring?
I don't know, man. That's a tough question, because normally a lot of times when I get calls, I'll just go and people ask, well, who's on the undercard? I said, shit, I don't even know who's fighting. So yeah, so I don't know. I just, there's so many fights that I do with so many people, and I would have to sit down and kind of evaluate who I would like to see in a fight. Maybe Andre Ward and Canelo. You know,
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
that'd be interesting. The boxer and the brawler.
There you go. Exactly.
But we can't say that Canelo's too much of a brawler anymore. He's picked up some very good defensive skills and foot movement.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. So that's it.
That means longevity. Well, listen, I know it hasn't been official, but it has been official. But according to the promoter, and out of respect to the promoter, Rick Merigian, I'm not going to say it's official. But rumor has it May 9th, Jose Ramirez will be at the Save Mart Center taking on, who's his opponent, man? Is
Victor
it
Postal.
Josh Taylor?
Victor Postal. No,
Not-
Taylor
it's Victor
fights.
Postal.
Taylor fights the week before, May 2nd.
Yes, exactly. That'd be cool to have Stitch in the building, man. It's a top rank event, and you know that's when Jose owns Fresno. He is Fresno. When the man comes to fight, he pushes forth everything, and he leaves everything in the ring.
Yeah, no, you know, we were talking about it. He was up at the fights, obviously, and supporting Gabe Flores and all that, and being a farm worker, and me being a farm worker. You know, we had a lot in common, and he says, you know, he's making some apparel also, you know, representing, you know, the farm workers and all that. So I told him, hey, anytime you need any help on my side, I'll be more than glad to volunteer.
There you go, man. And I can say it over and over again. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep. Hands down.
So any more MMA events you're going to be doing? I mean, you know, I know you went from the UFC and, you know, you went to, I believe it was Bellator for a little while. Are we going to see you working the cage anytime soon?
Yeah, you know, I'm working with this company, FFC, that just signed a deal with Real, Caesars Entertainment here in Las Vegas,
Okay.
to hold shows that are going to have boxing, MMA, and kickboxing on the same card. So hopefully, you know, we'll be doing something in April. But if that doesn't work out, then of course, you know, I always got the doors open for Bellator and Professional Fight League and Rising and Invicta and just about anybody. But you know, bare knuckle fights is keeping me busy. You know, they're starting to do like one show a month, and of course, you know, boxing has kept me busy, and so yeah, of course, you know, time allowed, I'll do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put the manager's hat on just for a split second, man. And if you ever just get the itch to want to work some MMA, man, Combate Americas is the brand, is the team, is the new era of MMA. They'll be coming to Fresno this Friday, Save Mart Center. Combate Americas, Mike Efremowitz, Mr. Campbell himself. And they put on a great card. They got a great company to work for. And if I see Stitch Duran in the cage, it's a wrap. I mean, it's a wrap. It's somebody like you and your brand that could just take it to that next level, even though they do travel all over the world.
Yeah, you know, I had spoken to them, you know, a while back, and they just couldn't match the fees, you know. But they're doing so much better now that, you know, if anything, just to go and support them.
Absolutely.
Would be fun, you know, just to go and, you know, do a show just for the PR, especially if it's in Fresno, and you know, I'm from the Valley, so I think I'll draw some attention there.
Yeah, you know, they hit up Fresno, they hit up Stockton, and, you know, I just know that you're busy this weekend because you'll be working the corner of Jesse Vargas. Have you had a chance to see him in the gym? How's he looking, and what do we expect to see when he walks in the ring Saturday against Mikey?
You know, to be honest with you, because I've been on the run so much, and that I've only seen him spar a couple of days, and that was it. And he's already gone. You know, they left yesterday.
Yeah.
So, you know, but he looked tremendous, man. His new coach, Zavala, is doing a great job with him, and he's looking quick, you know. So I expect to see another good fight.
That's gonna be crazy. Man. That's gonna be fireworks. Any predictions, Mike, on that fight? Let me. I want to get Mike. I want to get your take on that fight.
I'm still not the biggest fan of Mikey at 147, but I'm interested in this fight because if there is someone for him to test himself against, it's someone like Jesse.
Jesse's a big boy.
Yeah, Jesse's a good fighter. He's been a champion.
Strong too.
And he's given it to some people. So that's a good fight for me. I mean, for me personally, I love that whole card. The fight that I'm most looking forward to on there is one of my favorite fighters is Chocolatito. So he's fighting on that card for a title. I love watching him fight. Julio Cesar Martinez under Canelo's team as well is on there. He's a big time fighter coming up. And the biggest one for everybody out there, look out for this kid, Diego Pacheco. That's the one to watch. Big middleweight. That's the fighter to watch on that whole card. But Mikey and Jesse, I say it goes 12 rounds, probably a split decision. It's going to be whoever the judges feel more comfortable with, honestly. I don't have an official prediction. That's too hard for me right now. It's a close fight to me.
Political answer.
Well, it's a close fight for me. It's just
Yeah.
Jesse should win being bigger, but Mikey to me might have the superior boxing skills. But I mean, at the end of the day, look what just happened Saturday. Tyson Fury was a little bit bigger and was able to dominate that fight. So who knows?
Yeah. That's a good analogy.
You know, I see things a little different. I think Mikey wants to make a statement, and what I did notice is how strong Mikey is at 147s, just adapting to that weight. But again, Jesse Vargas is no slouch at all whatsoever. He's anybody's opponent worst nightmare, and he doesn't come to survive. He puts himself at risk to win the fight.
Yep.
So it is. That's why I say it is going to be fire. I am rocking with Team Garcia, but at the end of the day, man, I mean, Jesse's been showed me the utmost respect, and just his work ethic alone, we're having this conversation. He is a big boy fighting at 147. He could easily be fighting at 154s, even 160s.
I don't know about
His
160,
front
but
walk,
154, yes.
Hey, when I saw him in Fresno area, he looked like a middleweight.
No, he's big. That's
He's a big kid.
But that's natural weight.
He's a big kid.
That's, Canelo and Munguia walk around at like 185.
And now he's shredded like Bruce Lee.
No, he's
He's
in good
shredded
shape,
too,
yeah.
man.
But no, that's why I say it's a split decision for me, either or 7-5. I don't think it's going to be someone is so dominant of the other.
Well,
There's no
Stitch
way.
has ringside seats for that event, and it's going to be awesome, man.
Oh, definitely.
Stitch, you know what? I got to send you a shirt, man. So on your leisure time, you're just like, shopping at Macy's, rocking the Fighter's Voice T-shirt, man. And someone just come up to you, says, "We saw Edward James Olmos endorsing the Fighter's Voice, man."
No, man, I appreciate it, but like I was telling Mark, I'm too old for T-shirts. That's why one of the reasons that I like working with One More Round, because One More Round was created when Mark Zucker saw the Rocky Balboa movie, when Rocky's saying, I gotta go one more round, right?
There you go.
But that's good for anybody in life. But like I told him, I'm too old for T-shirts. But what I like to do is I always wear button shirts, and kind of like the Tommy Bahama type of shirt.
Oh yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a special
that's
design
the
one for
kind
him.
of
Then.
stuff I wear. I appreciate the offer. I would give it to one of my kids, but I don't wear T-shirts. Man.
Well, we may surprise you one day, man. Surprise you, just find your style, some way, somehow, and say, "Look at Stitch, man."
Stitch walking through Raider practice right there in the Fighter's Voice T-shirt.
There you go. No, a nice dress shirt, man.
There you go.
Yeah, the kind you leave out.
That's all I love.
No, I know, and you know what? If you notice, he does not wear hats because check out the fro, bro. It goes back mean too. It's nice. It's just it lays back perfect, man. You know what I mean?
That's a clean one right
there. That bato's still in him. He's letting you know. You know what? I'll patch up your cut after I lay one into you.
Yeah, that's my trademark is my hair, my glasses, and mustache.
Yes, sir.
And without one of those, that'd be like Achilles.
No, exactly. Speaking of Achilles, man, I'm going to give my man a hard time. Just check this out. I got my man Alex in studio. His hair was all the way down his back towards like the belt. It was. He walked in studio today because he's watching and he brought his beautiful, talented guest with him. And he cut his hair, man. And I noticed when he shook my hand, there was no strength in it. So you notice when he cut, no, he did. He kind of shook it kind of nice and a little gentle. And I was kind of getting worried there. And then I noticed he cut his hair.
Well, that ain't right.
The source of his powers.
Now the source of exactly. Now I'm just busting his balls a little bit, man. I got nothing but love for Alex. Alex is a good dude, and he supports the Fighter's Voice 100% big time. And we're gonna be introducing him soon because he has a food. What is it? A food product he got coming out? What is it you got, Alex? It's an app. It's a food app, and it's healthy. It's a healthy way of living, and also you could just chill on the couch, and we'll bring the food to you. That type of stuff. Correct, Alex?
No, man. Well, good luck, Alex.
Not for futurists. Thank you.
Oh, okay. He said good luck. He said thank you. He said thank you, my man. But no, I like having people live in the studio, man, as guests and just wanting to follow the show. And I always want to give them a shout out and let them feel a part of the show. And all those that have hit me up today, man, I get the same thing. Here's the thing. Let me say this clear. There's a fight in Fresno, Combate Americas. It's this Friday. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a promoter, okay? I don't have tickets on my Rolodex to give out. But I will be giving out a pair of tickets today. If you can tell me what high school Jacob Stitch Duran went to. The first one to let me know what high school that Jacob Stitch Duran went to, you get a pair of tickets. So the first inbox that I get on the Fighter's Voice, hey, I'm going to give out a pair of tickets, and you'll be going and watching Combate Americas, who the main event is going to be Adrian Guzman, and also you're going to have the beautiful, the lovely, and the scrappy Stephanie Frosto who'll be on the card, and also Jose Avalos will be on the card. And who else we got on that card?
Got Paul Lozano Jr. again.
Oh yes, Paul Lozano Jr. Hey man, he was
up there with Khabib.
He was grappling with Khabib. Yes, he was.
Paul's one of my favorite fighters. We've had him on the show. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm going to be giving out a pair of tickets. Let me know what high school Jacob Stitch Duran went to, and you get a pair of tickets for Combate Americas. That's this Friday, Sabar Center. Get a hold of the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. Because like Stitch and Tyson Fury, we're simply knocking out the competition. So enough of those plugs, man. Yeah. When we get off the phone, I'm probably going to ask you, Stitch, hey, what high school did you go to, dog?
No, but Stitch, for real, Saturday when you're there, watch that Kid Pacheco fight. You're going to be impressed with him, man. He's on my list of one of the top fighters in the next few years.
All right. Yeah. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, he's solid.
Stitch, I can't let you go, man. You got to tell us one of your stories, man. Tell us a new story. What went wrong or what went happy? What happened in Vegas this weekend that nobody knows about or that people do know about? And I'm not talking about somebody getting arrested. Just what happened in the dressing rooms? What was going on today? I mean, in this weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much got what I got. You know, I mean, it's there was nothing that was extra crazy or anything like that. It just, seemed Tyson Fury, and as relaxed as he was in the dressing room, was the same Tyson Fury that fought. So, nothing that was spectacular. There was something, I love giving news, but outside of just whooping on Deontay Wilder, another day in the office.
So let's talk about him being relaxed, because I was at a lot of the press conferences there and a lot of the interviews that he was giving there, and he was very relaxed. He was very subtle. He didn't make eye contact with too many people. He was just so focused in doing what he was doing.
Yeah. That's the nature of the game. That's how you show that confidence, or you show that you're not ready to fight. The eyes tell you everything. So, all right, my man. Well, listen, I have to cut it short because I just drove in from LA and I'm kind of drained right now and got to catch up on some rest, and we'll do it again down the road.
Hey, no, you got it, man. I mean, you got it. Check this out. Appreciate you coming on the show. You're one of our biggest supporters, and if there's any way, shape, or form that we can help support anything you do, just give me a text, an inbox, and I already got you. It can even be an hour before the show. We watch and support, and we root for Jacob Stitch Duran, and we see you as being, if not the top, one of the top cutman to ever patch up.
That's not a question.
A bloody. Oh no, I know I can say that. But I know. I'm still involved in the game and trying to get other guests. You'd be surprised when people get butt hurt, Stitch. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be honest, though.
Of course.
Now, honesty is the policy. But
honesty don't care about your feelings.
Listen, if I was bleeding, I wouldn't say Band-Aid stick on me. I'll go over there and get Stitch stuck on me, and he'll stop the blood.
Exactly.
Hey, anything you want to tell Fresno before you leave, Stitch?
No. Just, thanks for having me on the show, and all the guys that tune in to you. Yeah, first one that called in, what high school I'm from. You guys have a good time at Combate America.
There you are. Thank you. Hey, we'll let you go.
All right, my man.
All right. Bye-bye. My man. Kept it real all the way till, you can actually hear him, put a tortilla on the comal. Because he was getting ready to eat. Yep. Exactly. You can. I mean, the guy is so down to earth. He's just like us. He'll sit down there with us and relax with us, and then you see him at the highest level of the platform in the world. He'll be interviewed by the who's who of media. You'll see him on top movies in the world, and he's getting paid and being asked to work the biggest events in the world with the biggest and greatest athletes of the world. I mean, the man is living the dream right now.
Yeah, and he's been on big time movies. I mean, you're talking about Creed 1 and 2, and then he was also in the Here Comes the Boom. So, I mean, that's both sports right there, boxing and MMA.
I heard a crazy rumor, man, that the Fighter's Voice may play a cameo on Creed 3, man. Okay. And it's okay to spread rumors, man. You call things as if they're not as if they are, and I like that one.
Okay. If Michael B. Jordan needs some sparring, I got him.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So talk to us about this kid that you said to look out for.
Pacheco, he's 19 years old, big kid. He reminds me a bit of Sudo Ramirez with his height and size for that weight. but that kid could punch. He fought on the Andy Ruiz undercard.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest story to me is my dad calls me and tells me, why do they have this 19-year-old kid fighting this 32-year-old grown man? And then he calls me later and says, why did they put that old man in there with that strong kid? Because he knocked that guy out in the first round, just impressively beautiful, one of the best knockouts of the year. So I've been watching that kid since, I want to say maybe his third or fourth fight, and he's grown and gotten better and better, and he's going to be on the undercard this Saturday. And I'm excited to watch him fight again. He's one of the prospects I'm looking at as someone that's going to be carrying the sport further, especially as we talked about frame-wise with Jesse Vargas.
Yeah.
This kid probably could, he who knows, he could go up to the cruiserweights at some point because he's that tall, that big, and he's a lean fighter right now. So imagine when he puts on muscle, how much better he could
Exactly. Speaking of cruiserweights, man, I had the opportunity to interview one of the greats, the legends in the sport of boxing, and that's Tommy the Hitman Hearns. And doing that, I'm listening to the media, and they're all asking him the same questions. And so I had to dig deep, man. I started asking him about when he fought Dennis Andres for the first time at light heavyweight, when he moved up all the way down from, because he went from 154, skipped 160, 168, all the way to 175s, and came back down. And then he of course, then he fought Marvin Hagler, and it went the way it went. But he regrouped. So just doing that, then I had his immediate attention, and the man he is a legend. People were asking me, hey, who's that? And I just kind of chuckled and said, come on, man. I mean,
there is a video where somebody actually thinks that he's Marvin Hagler, or they just told him, and he goes, oh, I'm going to go take a picture of him. Didn't know who he was.
No.
That's disrespectful. He should have caught him with one of those right hands, honestly.
Just being around the man, I mean, it was just, you're in the right business.
That's royalty right there.
No, exactly. And
you got to
respect. He paved the way for other fighters. And, you know, in a sense, he has that same right hand, or Deontay Wilder has the same right hand with that same cork and as Tommy the Hitman Hearns. But unfortunately, you know, it came up short. Yeah. And we wish Deontay Wilder the very best. And Tim Smith, we're going to be catching up pretty soon, who's vice president of PVC Communications. He was a guest here on The Fighter's Voice. I had the opportunity of running into him in Las Vegas, presented him with the Fighter's Voice T-shirt, and yeah, man, their whole team, the whole PVC team, man, was a class act and great to work with as well.
That whole conference, it looks like the whole week just looked like it went by smooth and everybody got along. It was good to see. And for Wilder,
they did. There was a lot of smiles and a lot of handshakes involved.
If I'm making that much money for an event, I'm gonna be smiling to everybody too. But for Wilder, yeah, I hope the best for him. Hope he gets better. I know right now you're hearing all the talk about the excuses that are coming out.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't take it too much to heart with what he's saying. As you know, his man's been undefeated for so long, knocking everybody out right now. He might be just in a state of shock, like, man, I really lost this fight. So, I mean, yeah, the 45-pound, all these things that they're saying, I mean, it's whatever. At the end of the day,
he didn't look heavy to me.
Yeah.
He didn't look heavy to me. I don't think he was as fast as he was, but I don't want to say the 45 pounds caused him not to perform, because when you do that, you're taken away from Tyson Fury. It was Tyson Fury's night.
Exactly.
He came out. I'm a Tommy Hitman Hearns fan. When he fought Marvin Hagler, it was Marvin Hagler's night.
Exactly. And as you said, sometimes fighters have another fighter's number, and that is as true as it can be. So with Wilder, maybe Fury just has his number. Who knows? Maybe the extra weight that
Holyfield had Tyson's number.
And maybe Riddick Bowe gave Holyfield problems 3 times.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just the way it happened. So
Andrew Galata gave Riddick Bowe problems. He just couldn't stay disciplined. He kept hitting him low.
And then exactly, there you go. And as we've gone over, Pacquiao Marquez. Look, during Pacquiao's long run, the only guy that was giving him any issues was Marquez. So yeah, and I know how you feel about that, but the other fights I'm talking about.
No, I know exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm listening to these experts, and when they were talking about Deontay Wilder's power, one compared it to. He said, "I've never seen so much power." Other than, he said, Julian the Hawk Jackson. And I'm going, man, this guy knows his boxing. I want to get together with this dude. Somebody that appreciates the Hawk. Because when he would hit you.
Oh, you're going to sleep.
It was a different type of sleep.
Yes.
I mean, there's going to sleep, there's doing mimi, and then there's drooling. This guy was just like hangover sleep.
Yes.
Out.
That's one of the hardest punches in the history there.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
pound for pound, 154.
Exactly.
He just couldn't beat Joe McClellan at 160s.
Yeah.
No,
with his power, is someone told me, do you really think Wilder's that strong? And they said, well, think of all the other heavyweights that have been strong. And I was like, you compare fighters from any era, and you're trying to diminish Wilder's power. Jerry Cooney, who we've talked about so many
he was
times.
there too. I interviewed Jerry Cooney there too. Very nice guy, classy guy.
And how many times have we talked about how strong he was, but he never could get that belt.
I didn't realize how big Jerry Cooney is.
Yeah, exactly.
I got him on film when I'm doing it. Dude, he throws because I was telling him, you got a great body shot. And during the middle of the interview, he just kind of digs to my body.
Yeah.
And you see the phone kind of just like, hey, he got me. Yeah. No, but nice guy, man.
Yeah, but what I've always said, look how strong he was, and he could never get a belt. Wilder, the era is not as strong as it was before, but he got a belt, and there is no way you could win 42 times and it be an accident. So that's what I'm telling people.
It just happens. It just happens to be there. I mean, look at John Elway before he finally got a ring.
Exactly. Brett Favre.
I mean, Charles Barkley never got a ring in basketball.
Karl Malone.
Kenny Norton was the only heavyweight ever to win a bout that was handed to him. Never won the belt in the ring. He just happened to be in there with Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, which they never fought, but he still climbed the ranks. And Jerry Cooney at the end of his career, and Big George Foreman. I mean, you're just in there with some animals.
There's things that happens at certain times. Like, honestly, like they've talked about, just speaking of...
Look at my quarterback, Romo, man. Tony Romo never got a ring, but he is right now probably the best analyst right now in football.
Yes, hands down.
Hands down. He found his calling.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a lot of people like to... When someone loses, as it's always said, then all these people come out. So, hey... At the end of the day, I hope Wilder the best, and if he does come back, I do see the fight going a little bit different, but I still don't think he's going to beat Fury. I think it'd be like a 8-4, 7-5 type of fight.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. I was a Gypsy King fan before they started selling shirts and all that other stuff, and I dropped the ball. I was like, I'm going to rock this shirt before anybody else. Just like the Triple G, I'm going to rock this shirt. And I was actually, check it out, they didn't have shirts. I was going to make my own. I was going to go down to the sports store and just put 3 Gs in there. No, I'm serious. To keep it real, man, because when you see something... Deontay Wilder, I really wasn't a fan of his. I liked his speeches. I mean, when he would say stuff, it was like... it
was like you're in church, honestly.
Honestly, it was historical, like Tupac. You need to listen to him. But when I met him in person, and he gave me the time of day, there's media right behind me. He stopped and just said, hey, how you doing? I mean, you see this mammoth of a man just down to earth. How can you not watch and support this man?
And like I've told a lot of people before, I knew a lot of people when I first started, there was someone I knew that was part of his team that told him, hey, it's my friend Michael, it's his birthday. Wilder sent me he sent me a tweet on my birthday when I was like 23 or 24.
Oh, nice.
And said happy birthday. And from that on, I was like, hey, you know what? He was climbing up there. He was about to fight for a belt, and he's over here, hey, man, happy birthday, just out of nowhere. I was like, oh,
that's what's up, man.
So I've always been a fan of him. But, yeah, it just wasn't his night. But I wish you the best, and, hey, come back stronger. Like as you said,
he has a great team, man.
Yeah, it's one setback for a major comeback. That's all. Always is.
Exactly. I mean, Callie Swanson, she's seen many legends be dethroned and then come back stronger. I mean, let me say this. So when people say he'll never be the same and so forth, Canelo, he came back stronger. He's a better fighter now. Yes. Exactly. Now than he was if he would have ran through Floyd Mayweather. Yep. It would have been like, okay, I really don't got to regroup or dig down. And Deontay Wilder's going to be fine.
And if you want a closer one, when Pacquiao lost to Marquez, what was the first thing? Oh, he needs to retire. He's a champion again. Yeah. He beat Thurman, one of the strongest punchers at that weight class.
Exactly.
So there you go.
And when people want to blame the corner of Deontay Wilder, man, you know what? Somebody said it best. I actually heard Pete Lope say it, but unless he got a quote from somebody, he said, these are people that have probably never, ever been punched in the face.
Exactly. But that's why when I'm seeing the people that are talking about his cornerman that threw in the towel, he did him a favor.
Let's talk about what you brought up to me. The legendary, the one, the only professional analyst that is respected worldwide, and we're talking about Teddy Atlas. I believe he made a statement the other day, and then you got this young brass, talented announcer, boxing analyst, and that's Flores. And we're talking about first.
Teddy Atlas first came out and said
Ray Flores.
Yeah, Atlas came out and said, Wilder's going to win by knockout. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
And then after that, he goes, what have I told you guys about Wilder? He's not a boxer. He's not this or that. He's not, as skilled. And Flores said, you can't switch up what you say.
Yeah.
And he said, how about you give props to Fury?
Yeah.
He had a better night. It was his night, and he won. And Wilder's going to come home, regroup, and come back. And that was the truest statement there. Sometimes it's not your night. That's it. And I honestly, I agree with Flores on that comment because it's you can't switch what you say just because your prediction didn't go your way. I told you, I sent you a text, I believe I said Wilder in 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I was right about the round, but not the fighter. And Fury dominated, and I gave him all the props in the world because that was an incredible performance. That was one of the best performances I've seen in the last few years. And honestly, just seeing it from the whole week and in the fight, the event was one of the biggest boxing events I've seen in a while.
The minute Top Rank signed him, I talked to the legendary, the one and only Mr. Lee Samuels, and he said, Richard, this guy is special. He goes, I haven't seen a guy like this, and he mentioned the name, and when he mentioned and put it in the same sentence as Muhammad Ali, who was his favorite fighter, and
my
said,
favorite
I'm not
fighter.
quite saying he's there, but it was the same kind of feeling you got around him. And I was thinking, man, that's really bold. This is even before the Deontay Wilder fight. Then the performance with Deontay Wilder, I'm sorry, before the rematch.
Yeah.
And to regroup and just put it all aside based on his last performance, where a lot of people counted him out, and just to put on the show that he did, I mean, he is something special.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something, too. And I didn't get a chance to tell, I'm sorry, Edward James Olmos, I'm sorry, Stitch the Cut Man. But no, right after the whole show was done, getting ready to catch my flight, getting ready to head out there, I'm calling Uber, they say 7 minutes, and I look outside, and I'm thinking, I see this whole crowd, and I'm going, okay, somebody's there. So I, bring my luggage with me. Lo and behold, right outside the casino, man, just chilling, just like regular, man, was Tyson Fury. Just touching people, just taking it all in, giving back to everybody.
Yeah, there's a video, I believe, that I've seen where he's out there they're bringing him drinks and he's sitting
Yeah,
there with
well,
everybody.
actually, the real Carnelo did that, because the real Carnelo hit me up and check this out. He's comedy. He said, "Hey man, let me get that credential, man. What I did for you last time." I said, "Bro, what you did? You bought me a hamburger. I'm not gonna throw away my career or give me my credential." So he goes, "Yeah." He said he was gonna get me this suit that says Gypsy King. He's not even answering my call, bro. He's getting ready to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. He's not answering no calls. I didn't know that you had his number. Long story short, when I was talking to him outside, all I said was, "Hey, congratulations." He tells his brother, who's the only one with him, and he says, "Fuck it, let's go to the strip."
Yep.
Right? The real Carnelo posted later, he's there chilling with him, and he's talking in Spanish with him.
I've seen
Tyson
that, yeah.
Fury. Later on, they post, he's sitting down, lounging on the strip, no special club or anything, just on a chair, having a cold one with his fans.
Yeah, there was a lot of fans out there.
That is down to earth.
Yes.
That is a people's
I like that
champion.
one.
That is something very special. These guys we're going to remember that moment, this event, for the rest of their lives.
Just think about it. They're going to go home and be like, "Hey, I had a beer with Tyson Fury." Yeah, right. No, look, check
Exactly.
it out. And he'll be like, "Oh, you know what? I'll send him a message and show him a video of it." And he'll say, "Oh, yeah, that was us."
There it is there.
There's no way to deny that. That was perfect.
No, that was awesome. That tells you what type of man he is inside the ring and outside the ring. Long story short, both men class act, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that, like I said, Wilder's got these excuses coming out, but as soon as the fight ended, he said, "I wanted to go out on my shield, but I was beat by the better man tonight, hands down." He made no excuse right then.
Those were the first words coming out of his mouth,
So-
and those were the words that I'm going to remember him by.
Exactly.
And I know we're going to see a great event. We're going to see it happen again.
I've heard two spots that are looking for the third one is either in Manchester, England, where Fury's from, or the Raiders Stadium. That would be perfect. I mean, I would do anything to be at that one. So either way,
I don't care where it's at. I just want to see it happen again.
yeah, that's going to be a great event, a third fight. And you know what? Maybe Fury deserves to get that fight.
Here's my thing, and I don't know him personally or the whole promotion team. All of a sudden, we're going to come out of the woodwork, and we're going to say, "Okay, I want to fight you right now 50-50. No, bro, you didn't want to fight anybody at first. It was under your terms. You're not shot caller here. Top Rank's like, bro, come on. Really? Yeah, we'll make that fight happen, but it's going to be on our terms.
Well, the thing is now Top Rank has two fighters that they could throw at Joshua.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing. They got Pulev and they got Fury. So they hold all the cards now. Honestly.
Well, okay, this is just the rumor that I've been hearing. Fresno, California, when Jose Ramirez comes to Fresno Samar Center, and we're not saying, okay, there's tickets that are being sold already, no disrespect to his promoter, he's going to make that announcement official, even though everybody in their grandma's been posting it, they're saying that there's going to be one special chair there, and the Gypsy King's going to be sitting in Fresno, California.
Well, that's perfect. Let's get him.
Well, that's what I've been hearing, man, because I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
I know some people that rob some people.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all that, man, but yeah, no, I do too, like up in Stockton and L.A. and even Fresno, shoot.
Yeah, exactly. So if he's going to be here, then there could be a reason why there's going to be no.
I know,
no
but
tickets
see,
available.
people sometimes they'll be afraid because we moved to a new studio. Richard, is it safe to get there? And I said, look, if you show up to our studio, one, you'll get your windshield clean, okay? Two, they'll help you on your diet because that Happy Meal that you're eating, then you can, they'll eat the rest of it. Three, you come here to the fighter's voice, the only voice that matters, and just like Tyson Fury, we're simply knocking out the competition.
So we'll just tell him, sorry, we don't got the massages available across the street anymore.
No, we don't. Oh, no, and I ain't doing any of that stuff. No,
But no, yeah, shoot, if they need a ride or they need cover, I got some people that I could call that if I say, hey, the heavyweight champion needs some security, and you think someone's going to try to walk up to the heavyweight champion?
No, man. Honestly, he'll get straight on him. He'll take care of himself.
Oh, yeah.
But let me say this. Let's talk about our guest that we have on the show tomorrow. Let's talk about the event we got Friday.
Beautiful.
Save Mart Center,
wait.
Combate Americas. Mikey Fromowitz will be in studio. Once again, if you just join us, okay, there is an awesome poster right there. Bro, leave it right there, KP. Bro, for a second, I thought, is Jose Ramirez going MMA or what? What's Rick up to right now? What's Rick doing right now just to twist it, so to speak?
That's the Pato Martinez right there. That's a good fighter.
No, that is good fight. He does resemble Jose a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
From that side, yes. If you just glance,
yeah.
Someone probably said, oh, no. I told you we were rescheduling your fight, Jose. I told you we were rescheduling.
Yeah, you are in Fresno. No, but that's going to be a great card. Combate, they always put on great events. And Adrian Guzman, he's going to be putting on a great performance. And he's going to be here on the show tomorrow. And, man, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited already.
And then a lot of the fighters are already in town now.
Yeah.
The rest will get here tomorrow. That's going to be a great card. Stephanie Frosto, everybody knows who that is out here in the Central Valley. Exactly. She's on there. And then there's a fight, another women's fight, the Lobo Acosta, going against, can't remember her first name, but last name is Martinez. That's going to be a great under-the-radar fight. Those girls can really fight there. And
those are the ones that they don't make the poster, but boy, they make the fans because they bring it. They're scrappy.
Yeah, and then like everybody said, the Guzman in his last fight, they knew
that's the best fight I've seen live. Honestly,
they knew his name. They knew he was from around here. After that, it was, hey, when's the next time he's fighting? Mm-hmm. Is he fighting him again? No, he's going to fight though. Yeah, okay, let me get some tickets.
Exactly. I got to get some confirmation with Micah Fromowitz. I know he's busy. Now's not the time to call him, but we've been calling him. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize. Those that I said that Robert Garcia would be on the show. Mikey's he's the fighter. So Mikey says, hey, bro, I want to train at this time. So out of respect to both Robert and Mikey Garcia, we wish them well. Hey, we're going to reschedule that and actually make it happen. And we'll relive that conversation we're going to have today. But, we gave Stitch the whole show, and great guy, and he does have stories to tell. And I do want to respect the fact that he was very tired and still took time out to come on The Fighter's Voice.
Yeah, and then, like he said, he's got another job this weekend. So.
Oh, he does? I didn't even know he was in that corner.
I honestly didn't think so.
But he kept it real. He said, you're working. He goes, I don't even know who's fighting. And he just showed up. But serious, Stephanie Frosto, and I also want to say, hey, if you need your taxes done, Zoila Frosto in Madera, California. She takes care of the Fighter's Voice taxes, the best tax woman in the business. And I will say that because from experience, she'll make it all go away, man.
That's what you want.
All the headaches. She'll make it all go away. That's Zoila's Taxes in Madera, California. Tell her the Fighter's Voice sent you. She's simply tapping out the taxes.
That's what you want right there.
Exactly, man. So anything you want to leave us with before we go bye-bye?
Again, just keep watching. We got some great shows in March. We'll announce one of the big names that's going to be calling in on March, and that's going to
be huge.
Yeah, that's big time.
I'm excited about this. The Spanish version of the show that we got coming.
Yes, definitely.
Well, Mike Rutha, man, and the Fighter's Voice Espanol, and on Tuesdays we're going to have some females because we want to change it up a bit. Because a lot of people said, Richard, you got to just be a male to be on the show or be a host. And they started coming at me. So I said, no, listen, sweetie, send me a demo tape. Let me know what you can do. I'll sit back here and, hey, we'll make it happen.
You just got to have knowledge of the sport. Simple as that.
Just have some knowledge of the sport, man.
Exactly.
And know how to cook some tacos too. that's a plus, bro.
That's
Come on.
A plus no matter what, of course. Tacos.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's always good. Hey, I'm Rich Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice. Don't forget to subscribe to us and follow us. www.youtube.com/The Fighter's Voice. That's www.youtube.com/The Fighter's Voice. Every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, Fresno, California. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week.
Same when, same how.
And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of special guests and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.